What up, guys? Weekly Piano here. Oh, wait a minute. I should put my thing on airplane mode. Whoop. And not fall and kill myself right now. I'm going to do a video on Bach. So, I was... hey, guys. Yeah, feeling really good right now. I just had a nice meal and sat down with the Prelude Part 1. This might be a long video, so I hope you get something out of it, or you stop watching now, and don't leave mean comments. Or you can leave mean comments and then let people refute you. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Prelude Part 1, the first Prelude in Bach's Well-Tempered Clavier. One of my students, TJ, what's up, TJ? Is learning it, and he learned it in like a day, so now I have to relearn it, and I'm going to have you on the video with me while I relearn it. And I started it, I got very excited about a couple things that are happening, so I wanted to just like have the video rolling. I can tell you about these things as I'm noticing them, because I like to talk about things like that. Anyway, here we go. The beginning is this. Now, mind you, I'm a very bad sight reader, so there will be a lot of problems, I promise you. Now, I got through just that much, and I know, and I like started freaking out because the voice leading is so freaking brilliant and so beautiful and so simple. It's like the beginning of anything. It's like the most simple, most incredible, beautiful thing that you can ever have in music ever. And it's like the first part of his first prelude. Sorry, I get too excited about it. So, but let's just put it into chords. That's the first chord, right? And then that's the second chord. And what chord is that? It is a D minor 7 chord over a C. And then, what chord is that? It's a G7 over B. Got the 7 on the top, the 5, the 1, the 5, and the 3 in the bass. And then back to 1. And look at the voice leading. This is something that is so useful for jazz pianists, because he keeps the same amount of voices, and they're all moving as little as possible to get to the next chord. So 1, right? So this note moved there, this moved there, this moved there, and this moved there. And then from here to here, the only thing that's moving is these notes. So beautiful. It's a sixth. It's a moving sixth. And then these go here, this stays the same, and these go here. It's like so symmetrical. Yeah. Oh, man. Sorry. I just love Bach. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, listen to that melody. That's the melody up there in the third. That's the melody. Okay. And then is that right? There's a big jump in the voice leading. just check that out. That's really cool too, because he goes like you have. This is the bottom, and I'm just going to talk about what I like about this piece and what's so interesting, because there's so many layered musical elements here, but there are some that just stand out above everything else. And the voice leading is one, the melody is another, and the bass is another. So let's just go back and look at the melody. That's the first one. I'm not actually going to try to sing it. That's the first note, and then that's the second note, that's the third note, and that's the fourth note, and then that's the fifth note, that's the sixth note, where did you go? And that's the seventh note, that's the eighth note! Isn't that cool? I didn't even realize that. Like, it's all patterns. So that's the up, and then exactly the opposite, back down. So it's a symmetrical pattern right there at the beginning. And then the next pattern is just a fifth and a fifth. And where does he go after that? He just looking at the melody, it goes. Okay, but anyway, we'll rewind a little bit. Oh man, I love Bach so much. Beginning. Okay, now I'll tell you what that is if you want, because that's an A minor. See what that is? Okay, I want to point out one other thing. So fourth bar in, right? There's that. And then that, which is kind of jarring, right? In the fifth bar, but then the sixth bar goes to that exact same next comping. And then back to the one. And it's also conclusive there. So there are two things happening at that measure. That's measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Measure 8. This is a very, very brilliant moment. I mean, they're all brilliant moments. But he has concluded with C as in the melody for the very first time since the beginning of the piece. And at that same exact time as concluding the melody to the one, he is moving the bass to tell you, I'm going in a different direction. And then resolves there. Resolves to an A minor 7. Not exactly like that. So that's just so good. Anyway, here we go. Maybe somebody can like write these things down on the paper, because I'm definitely too lazy to do it. If you do, send it to me and I'll put it out to everybody. Okay, so another thing, actually, TJ wanted me to talk about technique in this. There is, when you're playing Bach, you have to be very careful, because a lot of it can get stressful on your hand if you don't play it in the right way. Let me just make sure I'm still recording, because I'm going to check this every once in a while. My phone sometimes gets finicky and doesn't record. Yep, still going. Okay, it's only 9 minutes in. I'll make a good time here. Okay, so the what it should feel like is like you're not playing anything. Especially focus on the right hand, because that's the one that tends to tense up. Those three notes, it's like there are several metaphors you can use. When I started learning piano, I thought of it as just putting the least amount of pressure possible on the note and having all the weight come from your arm. And obviously, you need to do it slowly at first. Because if you have any tension, then you're going to play the wrong way and you're going to get tendinitis. So the way that I began, every little piece of the weight just comes from your arm lifting up a tiny bit and falling a tiny bit. But when you have that motion enough and your fingers are, see, it sort of transitions. You have to be able to do that with no effort, but then eventually as you play the piano enough, you'll get to a point where your finger does move, but it moves so soft and slow and relaxed that there's there's no pressure. It's you're just guiding the note down. Unless you have a really shitty piano, then you may have to put pressure on it, which is how I got tendinitis in high school, because they had a little upright and I was playing in the jazz band. But you should be able to do this and feel all that's happening is your fingers are wiggling a tiny, 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 tiny bit. That's all. You can do it for days and there's no tension. So do it slowly at first, and soft is the key. You don't want to be, because when you do get to that volume, it comes from the arm. And it sounds different when it comes from the arm. The touch is different. So it doesn't seem like it doesn't sound abrasive. Alright, anyway, so that's basics. You do the same for the left hand. Oh man, I should be using the better microphone for this, shouldn't I? Alright, I'll do that for the next lesson. Sorry, because this piano sounds so beautiful. It's my new studio in LA, and lighting is good, piano is good. Anyway, well. My bad. That's measure. Let me go from the beginning. I just lost concentration. Sorry. Minor 7 in there, baby. What is that? G7? Woo! Now, do you know what that is? Anybody? In the comments? It's a diminished. Oh, I should be writing these things down on paper, but I'm just looking at my computer. And that is a tritone that can get you to any different number of places. It could get you to there, it could get you to there, it could get you to there. It could take you all sorts of tritone resolutions in all different directions. But it's a beautiful comping the way that he structures the diminished chord, because it's like that, and he doesn't repeat anything except for the bass. He repeats the bass, the little note there. Wait, what's next? Sorry, I sort of lost my place. Is that it? Is that right? I don't know. Okay. Let's try going a little earlier. Let's just Start it from the beginning. Pianissimo there. I'm not really supposed to go low. It's deceptive. Now we've modulated to G major. Now we've got a diminished chord which can go in any number of places. Woo, goes there. That's gotta go. And it's that same comping from before. Remember that you did on the A minor, but now it's on the D minor? There's so many interwoven connections here. Oh, wait. That's right? Oh, that's so funny. I might be like doubling things where I'm not supposed to. Okay, so I'm learning this as I'm teaching it to you. As you know, I said that at the beginning. I'm relearning it. I've played it before, but it's been a really, really long time. So we're just going to look at these chords and see what's actually going on here. So after the transition down, now we're on the new section. Whoops, there it is. Oh yeah, I see. I'm doubling these things, but it's not supposed. Oh no, wait, they are doubled, right? Yeah, they are doubled. There it is. I'm confusing myself because of the way just because I'm an idiot, that's all. That's correct. And now the next one. Oof. See what happened there? Okay, the end of the first page. Last measure. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now, why? Why is that doing that? Because you have two tritones that are both resolving in outwards directions. There's this going to here, and there's this going to here. And that's why it's so like, woof, that rich, beautiful chord. And the only thing that's doubled is the bass. God, Bach is good. Why don't people just worship him? Anyway. And if you look at my earlier lessons on reverse harmony, you'll know that this is a symptom of upside down harmony resolving to right side up harmony, because of many reasons that I won't explain right now. Okay, so you have that. And then you have officially modulated to F, because you just resolved on F the same way that it resolved on C in measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in measure 8. It did this in C. Same comping, same bass line leading downwards to the minor 6, but now you're in F. And now you're going to the minor 6 of F. Woo! And it's a D minor 7 chord just like it was A minor 7 before. And now it goes down. Is that right? Yeah. God, it's so beautiful. You want to cry. That going, it's making C into a dominant and going back to F. Woo! And now that's F major 7, motherfucker. It's Bach in the what was it, 16th century, I think? Yeah, maybe 17th? I don't know. Music nerds correct me. I'm probably wrong. But major 7. And then now diminished. Notice where the melody is going. This is what I would play as a minor major. I mean, it's really just harmonic minor. Kind of a weird comping, but it's cool. Oh, okay. Look at those 6th in the bass. This is the 3rd staff down, last, and I'll upload this sheet music if I don't, remind me. 3rd staff down, last measure. It's just there, and it goes up, and it's 6th in the bass. It's so beautiful. Where does it go here? Let's find out. So, you know, okay, I just have to tell you, this is something Bach does all the time. You want this to resolve to this, right? But he doesn't. He plays it, and then resolves it sort of, but keeps it in tension on the bass note. Woo! And the melody goes upwards instead. Holy shit. And then the next thing is... big sus chord. Epic. Epic, but it's very soft. Notice that voice leading. What's the only note moving? You just get louder and go to the next chord, which is woo, big diminished chord there. 2, you go to C major. So C diminished could lead to any number of places, but it wouldn't lead to C major. All it's doing is making that diminished chord a passing chord. So it's voice leading it by just bringing these up in tenths. Tenths are the best. And so there's a counterpoint happening there. Woo! And then it diminishes, diminuendos, and sustains again. To the dominant 7 chord with that 4 just hanging there, and then boom. But okay, just check this out. I've got to stop. I've got to pause for a second because what I just played is so brilliant, and what Bach wrote there, I'm saying, is so brilliant. He did a big finish. He was gearing up for a big finish, even so much so that I was like, here comes the big finish. And any other composer would end the piece, right? He tells you, I'm ending, I'm not ending, whoops. Because that is not a resolved chord. That says we're going to a different chord now because this makes it the C dominant, which goes to F. God, Bach is cool. And then he deviates a little bit. Where I think he's just kind of like at this point. That last part I always found kind of funny because it deviates and it's not as symmetrical as Bach would usually put stuff. He deviates from what he was doing before. I think he was like trying to just roll it out to a conclusive spot. I mean, obviously. I guess the thing that I always found weird was that. It makes sense because you have your sixth there. It just makes like he's doubling the third. I don't know. I would have made different choices. But I am no Bach by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't quite understand the musicality of that interval there, but and everything else in the piece I fully understand. So maybe if you could help me understand it, that would be cool. If you are a Bach expert, because I'm sure there will be Bach experts here that will rip me apart, because I am just a jazz guy. So let's just play it through. Let me see if I can play it. I don't know if that was actually learning it, but at least I explained it a little bit. Let's start it again. Deep breath. Don't play it faster than you can play it. Take my own lesson. So tasty. So tasty. Anyway, that's the Prelude. Probably will do another Bach video addressing a couple other little things. But that was fun. God, Bach is good. Okay, hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have any thoughts about the piece that I should share with everybody also. Thanks, guys.